I have been married for 15 years. For a good 10 years, the sex was great.
Okay.
And we had it all the time. But for the last 5 years or so, it has gotten less and less. Now we're at the point of once a month or every other month. When I ask him what's wrong, is he still attracted to me? He says, yes, of course. But I'm just tired a lot. I like sex a lot. I'm not sure what to do. Any advice?
So there's a lot to unpack in that whole thing right there that you just said, right?
Yeah.
So it could be a lot of things. Okay. He may be unattracted to you.
Yeah.
He might not want to say it.
Yeah.
There's also a possibility. He may not feel good in himself and how he feels, right? He may be watching porn a lot and doing a lot of, masturbation.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's a possibility of that because when you do that, you don't feel like doing anything else.
Yeah.
It might be that he's suffering from erectile dysfunction. Okay? And I know you've been, looking into that and kind of, that whole thing, but why were you looking into that though?
Well, I had watched a documentary.
Okay.
About Viagra.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Viagra thing.
Yeah. And I like knowledge. You know what I mean? I just like random knowledge about a lot of different things. And so I was watching it, and then they was talking about erectile dysfunction. I was like, that's interesting. So I did research, called doctors, did my own reading and things like that, right? So, first of all, even if he's unattracted to you, I ain't never in the history of ever heard a man that did not have sex with a woman just because he was unattracted to her.
Exactly.
Easy access? Never heard it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not how guys.
Nah, I ain't never heard it. But he may also be having an issue with erectile dysfunction, and it may be either let's just say the eggplant. Eggplant might either be getting hard and not staying hard, or it doesn't last as long, or not happening at all sometimes. So it's different layers to erectile dysfunction, okay? And that's an embarrassing thing for a guy, right? And this is why talking to guys about women not having sex with them, they always think that it's a control thing. They're just trying to control it. A lot of times not. Because there's a lot of things that go on with women hormonally in their body that cause them not to be able to function or have the desire to function, and also mentally as well. But this also happens with men. So I'm just like, men, do not be so quick to judge. Because the same thing could happen to you, and you would want her to understand, right? So let me just explain what happens with erectile dysfunction, right?
Okay, go on, explain.
So when the eggplant is soft, okay, there is no blood flowing into it. Okay, there is a muscle that stops the blood flow going into it because the blood goes where it's most important at the time.
At the time, sure.
Okay, so when you get excited, there is a chemical that releases that allows that muscle of the eggplant to relax so that blood flow can go into it so that it can remain hard.
Yes.
Okay, but what happens with erectile dysfunction, either when it flows in, it gets semi-hard or hard, but it doesn't stay, or it doesn't happen at all. There is a malfunction where the blood is coming in and not staying there. It is going in and circulating back out, right? On different levels, right? Maybe a trickle where it gets hard and doesn't remain, right? Or it might be more open where it doesn't get hard at all. Have you ever been in a club?
Where are you going with this?
Have you ever been in a club and you met some woman and y'all toe up and you go back to the house and you be like, I'm finna tear it up. But then you get there and your man ain't operating like he's supposed to operate? That's temporary erectile dysfunction. Okay. It's an embarrassing thing, so he might not even want to tell you.
Yeah, he might not even want to talk about it because it's not an easy thing for guys to talk about. Listen, that's where guys derive their manhood from.
Yeah.
Their virilness.
Yeah.
You know, and if that becomes like weak or not performing right, it plays a part in how they feel.
Yeah.
Their confidence, their ability to be like, you know, who they think they are.
Yeah.
Especially if they've centered their whole world around it.
Exactly.
You know, and if that's not performing right, then, you know, they feel less than.
Yeah, so what I would suggest is try to talk to him about going to the doctor.
Yeah. Seeking out some help.
Right? Seeking out some help. And tell him, you know what? Well, hey, babe, you know what? Have you ever thought that maybe you might have a slight form of ED? If you do, you know, it's okay.
Yeah.
We can go to the doctor and I'm okay with it. I'm here to support you.
Yes.